You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Well, Bowls Champs start on Tuesday, run through till Sunday, September 10. 44 countries competing across 5 venues on the Gold Coast in Australia. These are the first World Champs post-COVID. The last were in 2016 in Christchurch. Let's bring in long-time News Talk ZB Bowls commentator and analyst Kevin Hickland. Kevin, 2016 seems like an awfully long time ago. You must be looking forward to the return of the World Bowls Champs.
Yeah, it certainly has been a long spell in between World Championships, Jason. Yeah, we unfortunately during the COVID era, of course, we had a World Bowls cancelled, so that means the cycle had to catch itself up, and thus it's now done so. And we start on the Gold Coast on Tuesday, of course. And there had been a New Zealand side picked to play in the World Bowls. That, of course, got put on the back burner. And really, we're going into these World Championships with a somewhat, especially with the New Zealand men's team, a new-look New Zealand side. With Tony Grantham, Andrew Kelly, Krista Lee, Lance Pascoe and Sheldon Bagley-Howley making up that men's side. And in the women's side, the ever-experienced Val Smith of Nelson, Caitlin Inch, of course, who now plays in Queensland, Leanne Paulson, Taylor Bruce and Selena Goddard. They make up the 5. And, of course, we've also got our New Zealand Blackjack para teams with Mark Noble and Darren Woolen and Julie O'Connor and Terry Blackburn, and the vision-impaired combination as well, which we've also got, which is Jane Parsons and Kieran Wheeler. So a full complement will line up on the Tuesday, along with 44 countries in this World Championship on the Gold Coast, being played at 5 venues.
All right, Kevin. At the 2016 World Champs, New Zealand won the Leonard Trophy for the number 1 men's team. They got gold medals in the singles and fours, bronze in the triples and the pairs. You mentioned how inexperienced they are by comparison. How do you assess the 2023 men's team's chances of success on the Gold Coast?
Well, look, to be fair, Jason, with 44 countries, and, let's just cut to the chase. The Australian side, a very, very strong side. They live and breathe on those greens. They play literally professionally. They're a top side. England, Scotland, they also are. Malaysia. There's some very, very good countries. But in saying that, a few months back, the New Zealand side, the squad, in fact, were over at the Multi-Nations on the Gold Coast, and they fared pretty well. And I think that the New Zealand men's team just may be one of those teams that just slide under the radar a wee bit. I'm sure they'll be there when the bells are ringing, close to the medal contention. They're very, very. What I'd say, they're a very united team. They're a very happy team. They combine well together. And it's fair to say that they have been picked upon New Zealand domestic performance. That's in regards to Tony Grantham, Andrew Kelly, Lance Pascoe and Sheldon Bagley-Howley. Remember, Bagley-Howley earlier this year defeated Shannon McElroy, the current world champion singles player, Bagley-Howley of Gore, winning the New Zealand singles, and Krista Lee, who is based at Musgrave Hill on the Gold Coast, who's won a number of Queensland titles. So if we're talking about form players, these particular 5 men are very, very much in form. With the woman, of course, Val Smith, well, what can we say? She's been there as our played in the first World Championships in 2004, has accumulated 632 games for New Zealand, winning medals at both World Championships and Commonwealth Games, a real top international player. Of course, missing her long-time partner, who she played with for many, many years, Joe Edwards, who won't be in this particular side, who's retired, of course. Caitlin Inch, who now lives on the Gold Coast, without doubt one of the top bowlers in Queensland, and has got very, very good performances on the Queensland arena. Taylor Bruce and Selena Goddard literally picked themselves as, I would say, the 2 New Zealand domestic leading women's players. And newcomer to the side, Leanne Paulson of Counties. It's a new addition to the squad. So really a good side, and I expect good things from our women's side. But, in these events, Jason, the draw, all sorts of things, in the 44 countries, it's a big challenge.
Indeed. You mentioned also, for the first time at the World Champs, we have para and visually impaired bowlers competing alongside able-bodied bowlers. You mentioned Jane Parsons before. Yes. In the visually impaired pairs. Is that the same Jane Parsons that used to be a top-class para cyclist?
Certainly is. The lady that's won, yes, it is. Jane, now living in Perth, she won a bronze in the Paralympics in Beijing. and subsequent to that went on to win 5 world titles in various paracycling world championships. So, a very accomplished athlete. Also, Terry Blackburn, who lives in the Waikato but plays out of the Point Chevalier Club. Well, Terry has been a long-standing member of the New Zealand Indoor Bowls side, playing in the Trans-Tasmans and won numerous New Zealand titles. She's now embarked away into the outdoor game and will make now her second appearance. So there's a couple of what I would say other sporting athletes who have made their way into the bowls arena, and they'll be wearing the silver fern for the first time at the World Championships.
Terrific. So a couple of weeks of action with singles, pairs, triples, fours. What is the format for week 1? And then I guess they flip it in week 2, do they, Kevin?
Yeah, week 1 we've played the men's pairs and men's triples, and the women's fours and singles, and then there's a day off in between. They flip them over, and then we play the reverse with the men and the women, accumulated in the finals to be put. Well, the 2 lots of finals play, but the last day of play is on Sunday, I think September the 10th, at Broad Beach. The first week of the finals, the grand finals will be played at the lovely, newly reconstructed Helensvale Club. And in the second week, they'll be at Broad Beach. And interesting, Jason, for a World Championship event, all of the venues are all free admittance on the Gold Coast, which, they've done a wonderful job because we're using 5 venues. There's a number of countries going to have supporters there. So they're running shuttle buses all around the Gold Coast area so as people can get out and support their various countries. So it's a muchly awaited event, having this World Championship, and the guys in Australia under the leadership of Andrew Howie have sort of gone out of their way to make it what I would say is, well, a real friendly games, we'll call it, and we're certainly looking forward to getting over there on Monday. We get over there. And we're looking forward to a lovely 10 days of World Championships on the Gold Coast.
Fantastic, Kevin. We'll keep your phone on over the next 2 weekends. We'll look forward to chatting to you about how the respective teams go in their various disciplines. Appreciate you giving us a preview this afternoon, though. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much, and thanks for your time, Jason. All the best.
All the best to you too, Kevin. Travel safe. Kevin Hickland, bowls analyst and commentator ahead of the World Champs starting on Tuesday. Now, round-by-round results and updates are going to be posted on both the Bowls New Zealand and Bowls Australia websites and various social media platforms as well. Live TV coverage of some of the finals on Sky and some New Zealand matches also will be live streamed on the Bowls Australia YouTube platform throughout the round-robin stages. So plenty of ways to follow the World Bowls Championships on the Gold Coast.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.